The combination of New Contemporaries and the ICA, I think, is a particularly important and exciting one. It makes sense for us at the ICA because the ICA, across its own history, has been dedicated to presenting the work of key artists at key emergent points in their career.
It's an incredibly important venue for all of us, and it has a fantastic history, but it's important that there's good art at the ICA, and so there's a kind of fantastic mutual need there, I believe. I think it's a great moment for the show to come there.
I think the quality of the work is really, really good, and it deserves to be seen, you know, in a proper place.
The challenge of staging the New Contemporaries at the ICA, for me, is an obvious one. How do we place 49 artists in such a condensed space and make the exhibition look good, which I think is very important. One thing I really want to avoid is the artists feel like they've been kind of squeezed into a corner. So I think it's important that we emphasise the relationships between the works and that everyone feels that confident and comfortable about the way that their work has been installed.
The danger sometimes with shows like this is that you just get a bunch of artists together and you're almost asking them to fight it out. You're almost asking them to see who's best. The tenor of New Contemporaries is quite different. It's very collegiate. You know, there's a lot of work on show, and it's not a jostling process. It's actually to say, look, in some ways, tangentially, subtly, these artists are connected together. They're connected together by age, potentially by outlook, but more by common spirit, really, because you're trying to say, look, here's a generation for 2010. In years to come, we will track these artists and we'll see them, and New Contemporaries, to some extent, will be there coming out.
This is not a curated exhibition, and it is also not a competition. In the past, we used to have winners from within it, and we actually don't have that. It is important to get into New Contemporaries. That's the joy, and that's the prize.
It goes back 50, 60 years now, and nobody can fabricate that history which kind of the British structure of New Contemporaries kind of has. And it's good that it should end up, you know, back in the ICA. I mean, the spaces are good for it. For me, from a personal level, it's where I remember it from, my first experience of it, kind of. And it's good for the artists showing in it.
People going to see the show are, yes, the general public, but it's also all the curators, all writers, gallerists, dealers. Really, each year when it happens, all eyes are on it.
The meeting of these two historic institutions seems to make a lot of sense to me. Both of us are committed to exploring what the contemporary moment looks like in visual art and visual culture, and in fact in many other areas. And that's what's particularly exciting to me about bringing New Contemporaries to the ICA.